Okay, welcome back. So all the birds today had final PMV and rotor. All these ones are the younger ones, so they definitely needed it. So we're done for the season basically of rotor and all those injections, which is really good because it's quite time consuming. But yeah, it's pretty good. So the birds today are on lockdown, so I did not let them out when they've had their injections, just because they're a little bit docile, and you know the rotor seems to knock them around a little bit more than the P&V, but I generally give them both together with a little bit of time in between. But seems to be doing reasonably well. You can see pairs are starting to fill the boxes, which is really good. Hopefully fill the last few more boxes. What I might start doing shortly as well is we'll take these out, put them back in my shed, and get them out when we need it. But I might just keep these two doors open and put the trapping box over there so that the excess birds that haven't paired up can go back over this side, and we can just free up a bit more space. I think as we start tossing, we're going to lose a few birds anyway, so that will start to free up a little bit more space as well in some of these perches. I was hoping a few more might have paired up, but I don't think they're overly too interested at the moment. There's Speedy Blue Grizzle, looking quite nice. Really got a white head on it too, which is interesting. All the blacks, blue grizzles, and the black tigers are all related. They're either off the tiger hen or the tiger cock that we've got. And there's this one I do really like. That's Whiteface. That was her name originally, but now look at her. She's looking really nice. She's quite small too compared to the others, so I'm considering not racing her this year. We'll continue to loft fly her, but I might hold it back because I do want to continue on with the Tiger Grizzle project. You know, probably the only colour one that I'm even going to bother with, just because it's the dominant. It's so much easier. We've got another one over the back here too, which I don't know if you can really call that a Tiger Grizzle. He's looking a little bit rough too, but he had all his PMV shots in that too, so the final, which is good, but everyone else is doing pretty well. I've had the birds out a couple of times over the last few days, and with no surprise, the falcons are there. So yeah, it's going to be rough over the next few months as we get these birds ready for the first race. And it was the same last year, if you guys can remember. Last year it was really rough. We had really good run up until about this time when the molting was nearly finishing. That's when the falcons seemed to really turn the heat up. I don't mind, I can handle the male of the pair, but the female, she's big, a lot darker, and she is really dangerous. She's the one that comes in with some serious speed. So yeah, we'll see how we go. Like, it's going to be a real push to get these birds ready. I know the older ones will be the ones that we had flying, 1 to 2 months, 3 months even before Christmas. That's ideal. That's where I want to get to in the future, because they're the ones that can get away from the falcon no problem at all. But it's more the later ones in this group and these guys here as well. So yeah, it's going to be really tough. Like, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Last year it was tough. The falcons just really gave us a hard time, and I know a lot of people just keep pushing them up, whatever. They'll get used to the falcons. Sometimes, yeah, when they're older, but when they're younger like this, they just really do not like it at all. So yeah, worst case, we just have to hold some of these ones back and race for next season. But we'll see. They definitely, at this age, they do not like falcons. That's my opinion. So we'll just have to wait and see how they sort of hold up, because that's what happened to us the other weekend when we had that bird reported. We lost a couple just because the falcons hit them, chased them off in every direction. The other one, the one that was reported, was at a cow farm in their car garage of their house. So yeah, chased it 10 kilometers from here, and just ripped it apart, and the bird was like no more. So I'm not seeing any other ones. I think I lost 2 of the older ones. One was a clean kill. The other one was at the first son of 83 to the best kittle hen, that got eaten. Well, it didn't turn back. It hasn't turned up, so that one definitely got... I don't know what happened to it, but it was old enough and it had been roaming. It's past all that stage, so for it to go missing around the loft, I would say the falcons definitely sort of cleaned them out a bit. We had a rough weekend last weekend. I think we probably lost about 5 birds, and then we got one back, which was good. And we've lost a few birds before that too, but not too many that it's noticeable. But we're going to lose more. They are turning up right now. And yeah, it's going to be hard work, some of these little ones, but you know, we'll do the best we can. And I have started to tag a couple extras with the green rings. There's a few that are on that real young side, and I'm just going to hold them ones back, and we'll just loft fly them, and we'll probably most likely use them for older birds in the following season, just because it's getting too late now, and the falcon pressure is just a bit too much. I haven't filmed a lot of it, but some of it you'll see, like especially last year, within like 2 seconds of coming out, falcons are onto them, pushing them onto the ground, and the birds won't go up, no matter what I do. So yeah, it's gonna be tough, but you know, we just got to continue on and, you know, work out some different strategies to sort of work around that. So that's what we're going to do. That's why things will be done a little bit differently here than a lot of other people would probably agree with. But to raise pigeons from this point, that's probably what we're going to have to do in the future. The birds are going to have to be bred a lot earlier. There's a lot of strategies coming up, but if you've got some really good ideas, you can put them down below. But we can't get rid of these falcons. You just can't do it. I can't get a gun on this property, so I'm not going to do anything in that way of harming a falcon, anything like that. I disagree. And I've been talking to some of my friends as well, and they have had falcons removed and worse ones come in. So that's not something I even want to consider doing, because, you know, they've got as much, you know, opportunity, or, you know, and they're meant to be there, that's all. So yeah, we just got to work around it. Hopefully these little guys can be smart enough to sort of work out and get around it, and we'll just keep pushing through. That's all we can do. We've still got plenty of numbers. I think we've still got around about 70, between 70 to 75. We did have 80, but we got slaughtered pretty hard there and we lost those few. There's still one injured one, so we'll see how we go. Let's go and have a look in the other loft. All right. Hey. Yes, you're not meant to be in there. You're meant to be on this side. I gave those their first injections too before. Let me just lock this door behind me. But I have taken the mother out of here, but these babies are eating all right. Just so that, because he was on babies, they generally don't molt. Some will molt, but as soon as I sort of took that hen away and started weaning these ones out, he started molting, which I definitely want to get that over and done with quickly as possible. Both these babies looking beautiful, especially this one. I tell you, this is the one that I would have loved. He's got a bit of character on him. Look at him. I would have loved to have got him in with the potato rings, but they just turned up a little bit too late. Beautiful pigeon. This one, I say that one's a hen, this one's the cock out of the bunch, but he is a superb pigeon. We'll have a look at him a little bit more over there, but he's got some character, which is good. He's he's actually son of 83 to the best hen. Beautiful, actually probably the nicest one we've bred out of all of them. So I'm going to sit this guy aside. So yeah, that's that little fella. He's a bit of a character. Really, I do like him. So I may hold this one back. Well, they're all going to get held back. He's way too young now because he was for potato, but that didn't work. But we might just, you know, get him loft flying and see how he turns out, and yeah, maybe get a round off him or something. But either way, he'll be most likely racing next season. Such a beautiful bird though, this one. I actually don't think I've bred one this nice in a long time. Real character too. Hopefully he doesn't change. Huh? This is your nest box, is it? You're a real character, I tell you. All right, we're going. You gonna behave yourself? No, you don't peck me while I'm down here. I'm watching you. Go back over the back there somewhere. And we got these two here. I did try and get, so I've actually got 2 lots of babies. I've got this lot here and the other one up the top there. These are the only ones that are of my family of birds. So these two will be my preference picks for Pattaya. These ones were, but I'm watching you, buddy. Didn't get the rings there in time to get them on there because we've got to use rings. I did try and get the rings on these ones before, but that didn't happen. Looks pretty good. It looks like we've just got another checkery here. And this one's got that really light beak kind of thing we had before. And those really little light feet. So we actually might have like another slate. See how it's got the little black toenails on it? So this one actually might be the same coloration of Dark Storm, which is like our slate that we've got. Would have seen it just earlier in the video. So yeah, that's pretty cool. We'll get some rings on these ones in the next 2 to 3 days, which will be the special Australian rings for 2023. And I have been putting in just like safflower and small seeds in here for them, just so they've got their own little stash of seeds, so the parents can feed it. And there's Harry's there, he's watching us. Hey, what are you doing? And we've got our other pair here, which are not my family of birds at all. I may consider putting one of one in. I do have 4 rings, but I just don't know if I want to spend the amount of money and put all 4 in. I kind of thought, no, I would have if these ones were, but yeah. Well, if these guys were in it, we would definitely look at putting these 2 and those 2 in it. But it didn't really work out that way, and I was hoping to get some storm babies there too, but she just doesn't really want to lay a lot. So we've got these ones, which I just don't know yet. We'll put the rings on them and just see how they turn out. They might be okay, but at least I've got rings on them in case the baby dies or something happens like that. So my aim is to at least get 2 on, which is good. I do have 2 of these in. This is the only, well, this is the second round of these guys that I've bred. I don't have any of them here. You just stop being cheeky, right? I can see you creeping around that corner. But these are the only 2 that I've got here. The other 2 that we bred were the first ones, because this pair's been really hard to get down eggs for some reason in a timely manner. But the first 2 went to Meadow 1 loft race, so I thought, I don't know if I want to put these ones into Pattaya. I kind of thought, oh, well, at least we've got 2 of these in a 1 loft race to test here locally. And these can be a backup if those 2 down there don't be sufficient. So we'll see. We'll play it by ear. We do have 4 anyway that will have rings on it. So yeah, over the next 4 to 6 weeks, we'll make a bit more clearer decision. But it's more like, I don't know if I want to spend all that money, because even just keeping these 2 back is like pretty much the same price as like a 10 bird team locally here. So I may swing that way. We'll just see, because I've got some really nice birds I want to test locally in 1 lofts. Enter them in this one this year sometime that you know, I kind of missed out this year. Like guys like this do with this breeding, and this will do really well in 1 lofts. Well, not saying they're going to win, but they should be there and they should be happy and healthy. And quite a few of the other birds I've got here. So yeah, we'll see how it sort of pans up. We're getting pretty close to starting to toss. Probably have to get the more precise dates, but be over the next 8 weeks we'll probably start, and hopefully the weather starts to cool down dramatically. But I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching. At the moment the boys are starting to come through the molt too, and they're starting to turn back on and crow around, which I may separate some hens soon to give them a bit of a break.